Good morning, everybody. Welcome into another episode of PM in the AM show. I'm your host, Pat Bernard, alongside my man, Mike Lauer. What's up, Mike?
What's going on, Patrick?
What's up, buddy? How are you? I love the hat.
Patrick,
Yeah.
so formal this morning.
Yes.
Sorry.
Things are formal.
Yes.
And it's not normal, but it's formal.
Oh, Jesus. Where we go?
Nothing's ever normal with you, buddy.
No. And good morning. How are you doing, sir?
Gentlemen, how we doing?
Oh. Well, listen.
See, he called us gentlemen.
Oh.
Here we go.
A lot of resistance. But listen, we normally kick the show off doing some Phillies breakdown, but that's going to hold off because today, since the All-Star break is just right around the corner, we're going to have ourselves an All-Star show. And join us in a little bit.
So who's coming in to be the All-Stars?
That's what I'm saying.
Are we bringing other people in for this?
We got All-Stars, porn stars, you name it, we have it.
Jesus God.
Well,
hell, and Mike's wearing a Philadelphia Stars hat, so there you go.
Oh,
well, what's
boy.
up? I could be your Ron Jeremy. But anyway,
You can glue 70 together. You still ain't even half around Jeremy. Let's be honest.
no, that's why they call me Tic Tac Hack. But listen, well, that just went down the drain. But anyway, look, we are going to have an
Got one
All-Star
of
game
yours.
show. We are going to talk, from all the Philadelphia sports team in the city. I mean, from the Eagles to the Stars, we have the Union, soccer, we have Flyers, Sixers, you name Phillies. We are going to be doing a draft of all the Philadelphia figures in this city. I mean, nothing's left out. We have coaches, GMs, players, you name it is on the list. And we are going to see from me, Mike, Al, and our man Dies from Party on Broad. He's going to be joining the show as well. He's going to join. He's going to give us his list as well. So I can't wait to hear from Dies because originally I got this idea from Dies. I mean, I watched the Party on Broad and he kind of gave me an idea of how to do this. So, yeah, I'm ready to rock and roll. But
So you stole it from Dives, and now you're trying to put it on our show.
well, yeah, I stole a lot of things.
That's real freaking original. No wonder why you extended the idea. Come on, I just stole your idea. Oh, Jesus.
Hey, listen, I
God.
can't really get the idea I stole from you off the ground.
I knew it
wanna
was
make it
too good to be true when he sent this over to me. I'm like, there's no way Pat thought of it.
No, I can't think on my own.
Right, exactly. I mean, your wife dressed you this morning, probably.
Yeah, well, the top part, not the bottom. So, because that's where never mind. But anyway.
Sorry, people. You just made most people throw their breakfast up at.
They're just throwing their eggs in the pan at this
Yeah,
point.
well, I mean, if they ever got a visual, I'm going to scare them from half hour, but that's about it. But anyway,
Oh.
Mike, let me guess on your list, you're going to have more Eagles than not.
No. Believe it, I got one Eagle on my list.
Really?
One. I try to be a little different than all your standard answers.
Yeah, that's the other thing I went with.
Yeah, because I mean, we can all put 10 people in, and I guarantee you, we're probably going to have a couple.
Yeah.
At least a few. I mean, believe it or not, I went Phil's heavy. I was Phil's heavy.
You want affiliate?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you want me? I'll start it. It don't matter to me.
Well, I mean, how about you, Al? Where did you go heavy on?
I'm a more Phillies heavy guy as well. It's just I don't know. Maybe it's just more to choose from.
Yeah.
In that sense, but it's probably if I had to put like Phillies, Eagles, and Sixers and Flyers are probably close. One guy off.
I was surprised. I'm looking at.
I tried throwing some Union guys. I don't know. I'd be doing it.
No, listen.
I did research. I did research on who I could possibly think of. Like I have one Wings guy that I know, and that was about it from covering the Wings. But I'll just it's definitely gonna be the major 4-for-4 for me in this case.
Oh, no problem at all. So, all right, well, look.
Right, it's not.
Listen, I got my 10, but I also got like 7 honorable mentions,
dude.
So I'm gonna.
That's good work by you, Mike.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I try to be a little different. I don't have any Union guys on there, but I do have a star on there. That's why I'm wearing a hat today.
Right.
I also got a Wings Hall of Famer in there too.
Probably the same one I got.
What's
Does his
that?
name begin with a city?
Yes.
Okay. We'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
We'll leave it there.
Well, he was probably the most popular one of our time.
I mean, he was around for
Actually, I got
the 90s and
Well,
early
no,
2000s.
well, we're going based off, guys who you think you feel good about, and that's going to get you over the hump. Which guy in this city, which athlete or like I said, GM, coach, whoever you guys have that's going to get this the city in the next championship. So, all right, well, let's get things started. I mean, is Dives on Al or
He's calling right. He heard you calling his name.
oh,
And I think
it's like Beetlejuice.
Here you go.
Dives, you there?
Yeah, what's going on, guys?
What's up, my man? Dives, what's going on, brother?
Not much. Happy Sunday to all.
Yo, welcome to P and M and the AM there, Vibes. How are you, buddy?
I'm good. I'm honored to join, man. First time. Long time, you know.
It won't be the last, probably.
Hopefully it's not his last.
As long as Pat's stealing your ideas, it won't be.
Yeah.
Well,
It's all
listen,
good, bro.
listen. So, all right, well, Dives, you know what? We're gonna let you go first. So, who is ranked number 1 overall on the Dives list?
Are you gonna go number 1?
No, you go
overall?
number 10 first,
Oh,
you jackass.
man.
You want
Dives,
number 10?
Dives, give your list. Shut up. Let him give him his list.
Oh, fine.
So we're going number 10 first?
Yeah, let's do 10 to 1.
You want to work?
Yeah, you got to build a crescendo, dude.
I'm sorry. You see the way I work? I break things down. I don't build anything up.
Yeah, obviously.
All right, number 10 on my list is Tyrese Maxey. The guy who had some ups and downs during the 2023 regular season. Had a very good series against the Nets in round 1. You know, took a big part of that offensive load with injuries to Joel Embiid, with James Harden and his inconsistencies. Struggled against the Celtics. I think the Celtics had a really good plan on it to kind of slow him down. He needs to get better on the defensive end. He needs to add a counter move on offense. He needs to be a better playmaker and facilitator. I cannot wait to see what Nick Nurse has in store for this guy. I think his upside is terrific. He is my number 10.
Number 10. Wow. Okay. Number 10 for Dives is Tyrese Maxey. Let's go to Al. Al, what do you got, buddy?
Number 10 overall All-Star Philadelphia sports player, I guess, or whatever we call it. Figure. I'm going John LeClaire, and I'll tell you why. Because I feel the Flyers don't get enough love, number 1. Let's just throw that out there. And he was like top. He was always part of the Legion of Doom, part of our history there. Always a top 40-point scorer throughout the whole year. He was always felt like he always took back seats to like Lindros or whatever else was going on there. But I'm going John LeClaire, number 10.
And currently, because he's in the front office?
And the front office gives you a little, that's where it gives your current. Yeah.
And he's going to help this team go over the hump.
Exactly.
Right. How about you, Mike?
I'm going to go old USFL. I'm going to go Kelvin Bryant, running back for the Stars. Listen, this guy, literally, other than he went literally head to head with a prime Herschel Walker every year that the 4 years that was in, that the original USFL was around. Then he came into the NFL and was 1,000-yard back for like 3 more seasons after that until a knee injury took him out, early 90s. Kelvin Bryant was a really good running back, man.
All right.
And like I said, we're bringing in. You had to add in a star, and he was probably between him and Sam Mills. They were probably the 2 most.
Is he
famous
currently
stars.
with the organization now?
No, Kelvin Bryant is.
Oh, you're only going.
No, yeah, I'm going current, and guys are going to get you over the hump.
Oh, all right.
You never said that.
You never said that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought he made it clear. No, right?
No, you just said top 10.
You
You said top
yeah.
10 Philadelphia athletes and GMs and whatever.
Yeah, all right. Well, here we go. Well,
I can adjust on the fly.
yeah.
me too.
So I'm going to go number 10 for me, Mitch Jones from the Philadelphia Wings. He had a great season, 126 goals, best season yet, 82 assists. He came over from the Vancouver. He was a really, really good set piece for Joe Tavares. I mean, those guys really put together a really solid lineup. And I think with the Wings, you're only missing a goaltender, and if they can they can find themselves a goaltender, whether it be through free agency or so, I think they'll be fine, and they can make a deep playoffs run. Like I said, Mitch Jones being like your quarterback of the team is really, really solid for this squad. That's my number 10.
Huh?
Dives, you're back on the board at number 9.
All right, my number 9, I'm going to start and be a little controversial. I don't know we'll see how you guys respond. I did current players.
Yes.
But he hasn't even stepped on the ice yet. And I'm going Matvei Michkov for the Philadelphia Flyers, number 9.
Think of the future.
What's that?
No, I said you're thinking about the future. I like it.
Yeah, I mean, that's my bread and butter. At the end of the day, Stars win championships. I think Michkov has pure star potential. He's a triple threat winger, a guy that's going to be a constant threat to find the back of the net. His puck skills are outstanding. He's a guy that's ahead of the play all the time. I think just the prospect of a Cutter Gauthier and Matvei Michkov line in 2 to 3 years is just going to be so much fun to watch. That's going to be must-see TV. The Flyers haven't had a guy like that in forever, a pure natural scorer. Give me Michkov.
All right, Michkov off the board. All right, how about back to Al?
Number 9, I'm going Alec Boehm, and I'll tell you why. Because he doesn't get as much love as some of the other players. You know, we're talking a lot about, of course, Bryce with his struggles, but you're talking about Nick Castellanos and a lot of the pitching going on, Ranger and Taiwan Walker. But I'm going to go number 9, because he's been kind of a steady Eddie for the most part. Had a couple slumps here and there, but nothing crazy. But and he has just jumped up in his defense. He's been moved around from first base to third base, and he's been a backbone of this team. Since we're going current, I'm going to move my guy number 9 to Alec Boehm.
Alec Boehm, okay. And he's one of the, I'm going to agree with that. I think he's going to be a set piece that can get you over home. He's going to bring a World Series to the city. Yeah, Mike, who do you have?
Okay, since we had to switch on the fly here, I'm going to take Bryson Stott.
Bryson Stott at number 9.
I took Bryson Stott at number 9. Yeah, I figure he can definitely help this Phillies team. I think he's going to be a building block piece for this organization, and he's gotten better than he was a year ago. So, I mean, that's definitely for me a building blocker right there would be Bryson Stott.
Good small ball hitter. Again, really improved this year. He's had that 18-game hitting streak. He's been really great. Yeah. Thanks, Mike. Good morning, Fooch. So here goes mine at number 9. I'm going to go back to the dives. I'm going to go to the Flyers, but it's not going to be a coach. It's not going to be a player. It's going to be the general manager, Danny Barrera, making a huge splash as it is. Again, I wasn't on board about a former Flyer taking the helm of this team, but moving that stiff Ivan Progolov out of here and building for the future and telling this team there's a direction. There's a direction for the future, and we're going to tank for a couple of years, and we're going to build our way up with a bunch of young guys. And you see him right now through free agency. He's not bringing in all the old names. He's bringing guys who are young and somewhat developed, and they are going to take this city by storm. So I'm going Danny Barrera at number 9. Let's go to number 8 for dives.
Love the boldness of Danny Barrera. I mean, to me, it's a little too early. I did have him as my honorable mention, but I love it. Number 8 for me is Jalen Carter for the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm a firm believer in the building within the trenches. We'll be talking a lot about that when we go up this list. But Jalen Carter was my number 1 prospect in the 2023 draft, despite all the off the field issues. I think this guy has potential to be the next Aaron Donald, Jeffrey Simmons in the NFL. His moveset, his ability to shed blocks, his twitch, everything, pass rush is just elite tier. And I'm just so excited to see what this guy does alongside Jordan Davis and that young Eagles defense. So give me Jalen Carter, number 8.
Jalen Carter at number 8 to move the needle. I like it. How about you, Al?
I have a Carter, but a different Carter. Carter Hart.
Carter
8, number 8, and I'll tell you why. Couple things. Carter Hart as the first real goalie the Flyers have had in a long time. So one of 2 things is going to happen. Carter Hart's going to help lead us into that future, or he's going to be a big piece that adds pieces to the future. So I feel a man gets no love in this town when he should get more. I'm going number 8, Carter Hart.
Carter Hart. I like it. And still can really be a beneficial package for the Philadelphia Flyers if they decide to move on from him or if they decide to keep him for the long haul because we all know, like Mike said a few weeks ago, goaltenders happen to get better as they age. So very good selection. How about you, Mike?
My number 8 selection, believe it or not, I'm gonna go a little. I'm gonna go with Dave Dombrowski from the Phillies.
All right.
Here we go.
You know, I mean, this guy's been the guy who's architecting this. I guess this generation's run of Phillies baseball, and I think he's done a good job. The big knock on Dombrowski is that he depletes your farm system to get your team to the World Series. Well, he hasn't done that with the Phillies. So, I mean, the Phillies still got some young up and coming talent, and yeah, I'm going to go with Dave Dombrowski with this one.
Dave Dombrowski. I like it, Mike. I like it. All right, Mike. For me, number 8, Corey Coleman from the Philadelphia Stars. 669 receiving yards and a true building block for your Philadelphia Stars to get over the hump. We all know they were in that championship game last year. I feel like the Philadelphia Stars have a winning piece with him. Again, a playmaker, whether he's in double coverage, whether he's open or across the middle. This guy is always spot on for any quarterback to help, benefit for the product. So I like Corey Coleman and number 8.
He's good. That kid, between him and Case Cookham.
Yes.
Cookus. Yes.
They
are, believe it or not, man. I don't just wear the hat. I watch the games, and
right.
Hell of a connection those two guys had this year.
Absolutely. All right, back to dives at number 7.
Doc Rivers. No, I'm just kidding. Let's go the other end. Nick Nurse. Number 7, Nick Nurse.
Wow, you put him on the all-star list. All right.
Already?
Yeah, I think Sixers management is just clearly banking on this dude. His aggressive schemes, his willingness to adjust on the fly to really take this team over the top. The Sixers championship window is arguably closed. They're clearly running it back with the sole purpose of a Nick Nurse system, taking them over that hurdle. Whether you believe that or not, that's possible. But for me, Nick Nurse should be on this list. They haven't had a creative mind like a Nick Nurse in quite some time. I'm not a Doc Rivers fan, obviously, but Nick Nurse and his ability to put Tyrese Maxey and Joel Embiid in the right spots, I think, is, me, worthy of a selection here.
Wow. Okay. Number 7, we got Nick Nurse for dives. All right. We're going number 7 for Al.
Brad Bardos.
Yeah, right.
Oh, wow.
I'm going Brandon Graham. I'll say why Brandon Graham. He has, listen, he was an instrumental part of bringing the first Super Bowl to the Philadelphia Eagles and to the Philadelphia area. So you have to give him love, and he's been a leader, and he's had some of his better years later in his career. So he is tried and true. He is always going to be in most close to people's most Mount Rushmore of Eagles. So I would imagine putting number 7, Mr. BG Brandon Graham.
All right. Okay. I like it. Mike?
Actually, I'm going. I kind of tweaked my list. I went a little younger with things. I'm going to go with Andrew Painter.
Andrew.
Oh, I love it.
Even though they're shutting them down? Or?
Yeah, listen, I don't care. I was lucky enough to see this kid pitch a year ago. This kid is bad. Like, I don't care. Shut him down. Like, give him all the rest in the world. Get him ready for 2024. Like, this kid is bad.
I like it.
Bad.
Okay.
He's a bad man, as they say.
Yes. Number 7 for me is Tyrese Maxey. It's 60 games. 196 games. Averages 20 points. This dude is fearless for the ball. Look, I listened to Party on Broad, and anytime you're ready to hold back from trading for him for Dame, it's obviously saying something huge. It's listen. I like keeping Maxey around again in future spot. I don't want he is got a lot of future ahead of him. Of course, how young he is, and I like where Maxey is going. So yeah, I think Maxey is going to be the one guy. If there's going to be an NBA Finals championship in Philadelphia, he's going to be the guy who brings it to you.
Love it.
All right, Dives, number 6.
I love the Maxey pick because Joel Embiid is not on my top 10. I think Nick Nurse and Joel Embiid go hand in hand, and for me personally, I think Tyrese Maxey becoming a superstar is a bigger variable than Joel Embiid for the success of the Sixers right now. So that's a great selection.
Yeah.
All right. Number 6. Let's go back to school, guys. I'm obviously a guy who believes in building in the trenches. And you could probably argue that he should be higher on this list. Let's go Jeff Stoutland. We're going to Stoutland University here.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's a real good one.
You look at the last 50 years before Jeff Stoutland got to Philadelphia, the Eagles had a combined 14 Pro Bowlers on the offensive line. Since Jeff Stoutland has been with the Eagles, you're looking at 20 freaking Pro Bowlers, which is incredible in just that short amount of time. He is everything for the Philadelphia Eagles. Howie, Jeff Stoutland, their belief to build within the trenches. I just in love. Jeff Stoutland. I'm so happy he's here in Philly. He's my number 6.
Okay.
That's a good one. And I went outside the box too on this one because I guess you have to give him credit for making sure Jeff Stoutland sticks around because we could have lost Jeff Stoutland. But I'm going Howie Roseman. Yes, Matty B's turning over in his bed, throwing shit across the room.
Yes.
But I'm going to go Howie Roseman, which is really sad because I was one of those Howie Roseman haters back at one time. But the man over the last few years has made a huge turnaround. All these great players, young players that we're going to talk about, the Jalen Carters of the world, Jalen Hurts too, all that kind of stuff. It started with Howie Roseman. Now, was Jalen Hurts just a lucky pick? He didn't know what he had until he had it. And the whole thing went down with Carson Wentz. I don't know, but sometimes it's better to be lucky than good.
I like it. Okay. Mike?
My number 6 is going to be that big bulldog we got in the middle, Jordan Davis.
Jordan Davis.
I think this kid is going to be a stud. And now that they went and got his teammate from college to play next to him now for at least the next 5 years, I think the sky's the limit for this kid, and I think he's about to turn loose this year on the NFL. So I took my number 6 would be Jordan Davis.
Jordan Davis. Okay. For me, number 6, Alec Bohm. Alec Bohm, I had at number 6.
That's high on the list there for you, pal. I'll give you that.
Because listen, again, from a guy who said I hate this place, I effing hate this place, to saying I love this place, and not just that. When Bryce Harper went down, we thought the season was going to be over last year, and my man has stepped up from a off the bench piece to being a 280 hitter. He had 20. He had let's see what I got his numbers here. I got 24 doubles, 3 triples, 72 RBIs, 13 home runs last year, 31 walks. This dude was beasting it. Again, a major reason why you were in the playoffs. And again, now this year, again, switching from third to first base, it doesn't matter. And he's still a consistent hitter. I know we're all talking about Nick Castellanos this year, but this man has been your bright spot, your shine spot this year. I'm going to Alec Bohm. So, all right. Well, listen, now we are in the top 5. So, Dives, kick it off. Who do you got at 5?
Number 5, we're going number 2 in the league last year in pass rush win rate, just 2 percentage points below Parsons. Talking about Hassan freaking Reddick, a guy from my school, Temple freaking University. This guy is a quarterback nightmare. He's a constant mismatch weapon. He can line up on either side. His first step is elite. Has the speed and awareness to dominate every single play. And he has an elite motor, man. This guy had some huge moments last year, especially taking out that Niners pansy of a quarterback. His ability to just make game-changing moments, man, cannot be overstated enough. Give me Hassan Reddick and his potential in Philadelphia for the next foreseeable future. We could be talking about one of the best pass rushers in Eagles history.
There you go. I like it. Hassan Reddick, number 5 for our Dives. Al, go to you. Top 5. Who do you got at 5?
Probably not everybody. I'm going to get a little hissing at from the crowd here on this one because not everybody's in love with him at this point. But I'm going to go Joel Embiid at number 5. And listen, he's Joel freaking Embiid. All right, we all know what he can do. We all know the abilities that he has. Is he a winner? That is why he's at number 5. Joel Embiid would probably be, if you're an outsider looking, it would probably be top 2, top 3 on anybody's list. but he's backed up to number 5 right now until we can see what he can do. Or maybe he'll be a major trade piece in the future. God only knows. But at this point, he sits at number 5 on my list.
All right, Mike.
Carter Hart sits number 5 on my list.
Wow.
Wow.
And I think, and the reason why I put him up that high is because if they are going to move from him, they're going to get a boatload back from him. The kid's good. I mean, I'm tired of hearing people say, "Oh, well, he gives up. He's averaging 3 goals a game." If you had that defense that was in front of him a year ago, you would give up about 12. So, I mean, Carter Hart to me, I think he's one of the best young talents that you can definitely build around. And like Al's been saying, we don't have to trade him. Like we don't have to trade him. And so I got him at number 5.
Okay, number 5 for me. I have Nick Sirianni.
Nice.
And number 5. 2 years in, 23-11, most win head coach of any pastime in this tenure. He went from 9-8 to 14-3. I mean, the guy's been nothing but great. Again, I thought he was a little corny coming in with wearing all the Flyers and Sixer shirts, but no, this dude wears this city on his sleeves. He's very emotional, very passionate about the Eagles fans and this, how to get some W's. Again, he is gun driven to bring this city a championship. Again, he was a guy who had the Kansas City Chiefs on the ropes if it wasn't from slippery and turf. And yes, I will use that excuse for the Eagles not winning the championship here. But anyway, I definitely believe Nick Sirianni is high on the list, and I believe he will bring this city multiple Super Bowls.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
Multiple.
Yeah.
Let's take one.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, we could take one. We could take many. So, listen.
Speak for yourself on that end, Patrick.
Dives, number 4.
Let's keep on rolling, baby. Nick freaking Sirianni, my number 4.
Yes.
I agree wholeheartedly. He is the perfect coach for Philadelphia, man. He's embraced that heel mentality of the city, man. I love his passion, like you said, man. I love that moxie, that confidence he shows on big plays when he's running down the sideline and like pumping up his team. And never forget, man, the biggest reason why the Eagles are, arguably have the best roster in football is Jalen Hurts' suspension. Nick Sirianni is a huge piece of that. His ability to put him in, spots, build the offense around him, and, kind of have Jalen Hurts take that next step in his development. Nick Sirianni is a big variable there. So Nick Sirianni is my number 4, man.
Number 4 for Dives. All right. Let's see number 4 for Al.
I have a Nick, but not Nick Sirianni. I'm going Nicky Bats, Nicky Castellanos, man. Talk about a guy who's turned everybody was out on this guy within the first 6 weeks of his career in Philadelphia last year. And he has been a big proponent that why the Phillies are sitting at where they're at right now. I'm not going to sit there and say I told you guys so, but I said, don't worry, wait till next year. He will be Nicky Bats, and he has been Nicky Bats. And you can't deny it. So I am going to go Nick Castellanos sitting at number 4.
Out goes with Big Stick Nick at number 4. How about you, Mike? What do you got?
Devontae Smith.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Nice.
Devontae Smith. He's going to be our 1,000-yard receiver for the next decade. Like, it's plain and simple. I mean, whether AJ's playing next to him or not, this kid is an absolute stud. You already see the chemistry he has with Jalen. So I feel as long as Jalen's going to be here, Devontae Smith's going to be here, and that's very, very good for Eagles fans.
Yeah, I like it. Number 4 for me, Bryce Harper. And the whole reason you're thinking about a World Series, it was initially, when we brought him in, is initially bringing in multiple World Series. And again, this guy, even though he's dinged up right now, he still puts up decent numbers. Again, he was your MVP 2 years ago. I mean, this guy is still, again, producing at a high level. He's not taking it, a foot off. I get it. The injuries might have caught up to him, but still, he's going to be fine in the long haul. Again, free agents want to come here to play with him. He's an attraction. We get it. So I got Bryce Harper win us a World Series coming up in the bright future.
Man, there's a lot of parades here.
Yeah, I know. Before we go into the top 3, I just want to mention that this show is brought to you by Sherry'sTickets.com. Family owned and operated since 1946. I'm talking sports, concerts, theater events, you name it. You need tickets, they got it. No hidden fees. Not going to get the check out and go, oh man, $100, $200 more. No, don't worry. The price you see on the screen is the price you'll pay. And you get 10% off with additional promo code EOP10. Use it often, use it frequent. Promo code EOP10.
All right, here we go. All right, well, now we are at the top 3, and Dives, kick it off for us, buddy. Who do you have?
I'm going to go with the Matty B special. Give me Howie Roseman, my number 3. His ability to just slow play things, his ability to have a vision for this team, the Sixers should be jealous. You look at, taking Jalen Hurts when no one saw it coming. You talk about reading the draft board and getting Jalen Carter. His ability to manipulate the cap. His ability to find overlooked players who could fill lineup holes. It hasn't been perfect, but no one does it better than Howie Roseman, one of the best executives in football to date. What he has done the last 2 to 3 years to assemble, I think, the league's best roster is nothing short of remarkable. The Eagles only are looking at 3 players over 30 years or older on the current roster. They have 3 picks in the top 2 rounds next year to fill those holes at right tackle and cornerback. It's just this guy's always seemingly a step ahead. I got to go Howie Roseman.
Okay, Howie Roseman at number 3 for Dives. Al, who do you have?
Jalen Hurts. I mean, it's going to be top 3 for most people. I got to go Jalen Hurts. The only reason Jalen Hurts is probably number 3 at this point is because he just missed it to probably move all the way up to 1, not winning a Super Bowl this year. But like we said, this is the first time we've had a top 5 quarterback in the NFL on this team since early McNabb. And even then, that's a stretch. So I'm going to go Jalen Hurts because not that we only have a top 5 quarterback, and fight me on that if you want to do it, but he's a top 5 quarterback in the NFL right now. I think he's going to be there for a very long time.
Mike.
I'm going to go with Nick Castellanos. Again, like Al. I think me and Al were the only 2 from a year ago that wasn't trying to get rid of Nicky Batts or trade him, or, like me and Al were like, I guess you could say we were your counselors a year ago going, dude, just relax. He's going to be fine. We got him for 4 years. You know what I mean? And, my partner to the left of me was jumping all around doing backflips and hurdles and everything else about wanting to get rid of him, about how this guy stinks. But, Nick is really, this is the Nick that I was seeing in Detroit and in Chicago, in his 1 year pit stop with the Reds. This is the Nick Castellanos that we saw, man, and I'm glad that he's here. And I think he's going to make this lineup go a lot better now with him and Turner. Same thing with Turner, too. Turner's probably going through the same thing he went through a year ago. So give me Nicky Batts for number 3.
All right. For me, number 3, I'm going to go Jalen Hurts. I have Jalen Hurts. And again, to piggyback off Mike, again, when no one believed in this kid, Mike was the only one that said, give him the kid a shot, let him work on his mechanics. And boy, did he shut me and my fat-headed brother up in a major way, because this dude won 22 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. His QB rating is a 101.6, 760 yards, 13 touchdowns, rushing. I mean, this dude, like I said, an MVP caliber quarterback. Just when we thought it was foolish to move on from Carson Wentz, this guy took over that role and made it so much more appealing. And again, I'm glad he's here for the long haul. And again, I think my man is due to bring a Super Bowl home. So, all right, we got number 2 for Dives.
Yeah, it's got to be the best offensive lineman in the NFL. Arguably the most important player for the Eagles, Jalen Hurts aside. It is Lane Johnson is my number 2. You look at since 2016, the Eagles are 10-22 when Lane Johnson is out of the lineup. This guy and what he does against elite edge rushers on an island, no help, on his own, he consistently erases them. He has not allowed a sack in 31 consecutive games. Number 1 in the NFL last year with a 95% pass block win rate. Probably the best right tackle in Eagles history. I love Lane Johnson, number 2.
That's a good one. It's a very good one. I actually am a little upset. I didn't put him on my list, but it'd probably be full of linemen if I just went by my heart.
Nothing wrong with that, Al.
I'm going to go number 2, Mr. Bryce Harper. Okay. Not unlike Jalen Hurts, they came close last year to bringing the city a championship. Kind of failed, but here's a guy who, got injured. Most guys would have been out for the season, and actually was the MVP of the postseason last year. Came back from surgery that most people take a whole year to come back from very quickly. Not doing his best right now, and it'd be hard to say he's not on your list anywhere, but Mr. Bryce Harper is my number 2.
Bryce Harper at number 2. Okay. Mike?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Jalen Hurts, my number 2 right now. I just love everything about the kid. If you're looking for, somebody that you're going to be able to build around and go, oddly enough, I don't have Bryce on this list.
Yeah,
on my list, I don't.
I think it's his current
situation. No,
it's not.
It's not even that. It's just there's just so many more up and comers that I feel like that can help their teams differently. I mean, Bryce is just he's already a stud, so he's a corner piece. But like I said, with Jalen, no, I got him at number 2 is because I feel like I agree with Al with this sentiment that he's only going to get better because the guy he packs his lunch. He knows. I guess you could say he kind of grasped our what's the word? Yeah, our mentality. Like people around here, we put our lunch in the lunchbox. We go to work. That's what Jalen does, and I knew he was going to get better. Not too many people, my egg-headed cohort over here, decided that he wasn't going to be that good. But you could just see it. Like every year he progressed, and I knew once he got here. Now that he's with these guys, with the Birds, he's been just progressing, and that leadership role is just like I think Donovan McNabb said it the best. If you saw the interview with him, he said when Jalen got drafted by the Eagles, they got a grown man. And that's what he is, man. He's as they say, a grown ass man. And I'm happy that he's leading our team. I'll put it that way.
Okay. All right. I like it. Number 2 for me, Jim Curtin of the Philadelphia Union, head coach, a former Wildcat, of Villanova. Again, rookie of the year over there in '97. His resume speaks for himself. A 3-time MVP in his college days. Again, took this Union team when he took over in 2014. Took them to 5 playoff appearances. He was head coach twice already. I think this guy only treads up. Again, Eastern Conference Final back in 21. He last year made it all the way down to the dance. Actually took the LAFC down to the wire. This coach knows how to adjust on the fly. Again, he goes right back to the whiteboard when things are not going well. Terrific guy, a bright future. And again, the longest tenured coach in Philadelphia right now is your man, Jim Curtin. And I still think the future is bright for this guy.
That's a risky number 2, but I'll go with it, Pat.
Yes. Hey, look, take it outside the norm. But anyway, number 1 for Dives.
I can't wait to hear your number 1 because you went well before this. Number 1 for me, obviously, is Jalen Hurts. To say he made drastic improvements last year would be an understatement. MVP runner-up to Patrick Mahomes, 25 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, over almost 1,000 yards on the ground, 18 touchdowns on the ground. Got his contract that was well-deserved. Like Mike said, his intangibles, his leadership, everything he does off the field is off the freaking charts, man. I think he can still grow as a mental processor, as a decision maker. And he's like living proof that, some of these quarterbacks that have accuracy issues can take that next step at the pro level, man. He's maybe an outlier. Who knows? But he is ours. He is my number 1. And what a season we have coming up for Jalen Hurts.
Absolutely. Al, number 1.
My number 1, of course, like I told you, if I went with my heart, it would be all linemen. But my number 1 is a lineman, and you guys know who it is, Jason Kelce. I mean, come on, man. I know he's 1 foot away from retirement every year, but he is the cornerstone because not unlike Lane Johnson, because Lane Johnson would be my 1A on that, or my 1B in this situation. But because he runs that show, and and listen, I think Cam Jurgens is going to do really well when he has to step in to do it, but it's going to be really big shoes to fill. The way he talk about embodying the city, talking about putting your shoes on and strap. I mean, I'm not saying Jalen Hurts didn't have it already, but when you're working with a tandem of Jalen Hurts and Jason Kelsey, you can't help not to have that mindset. Like they look excited to come to practice. They look excited to look at the next new play that they're going to interject into the system. Like that's what makes Jason Kelsey just the man. And if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have one Super Bowl. And if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have had a chance to have a second Super Bowl. Jason Kelsey.
Jason Kelsey. Okay. How about you, Mike?
My number one, boy, Matty B's going to hate me. Howie Roseman.
Wow, number one. Huh?
Howie Roseman's my number one because without Howie's, I guess, foresight and what they're doing, the Eagles aren't where they are. And I know Howie's going to disagree with me, or Matty's going to disagree with me. That's a hill that he's going to die on, but that's fine.
It'll be a quiet, lonely hill, I think.
Yeah, especially if Howie gets another Super Bowl, then you can't call him a bad GM if he's got 2 bowls under his belt. But yeah, Howie Roseman, like this dude, you got to give him credit. Al, like you, I wanted him out of here after the debacle of drafting a firefighter and who was the other notable people that he tried to draft that we were just like, dude, really? Come on, you're JJ Arcega-Whitesides and for me, I wanted him going. I'm like, dude, you're not. He used to act like the smartest guy in the room, and didn't do very well. Now,
well, what's better than a guy who completely turns his world around?
Well, here's the thing. He used to act like the smartest guy in the room, right? And wasn't. Now he is the smartest guy in the room, and he looks dumb, which I love it. So he kind of did a role reversal. It's like Pat.
Yeah.
We all know Pat's like about as sharp as a cricket, but
right.
I'm the one pulling the punches here.
Bingo. Well, to piggyback off you, and listen, Matty B.
Why are you piggybacking off me? You're always trying to get on my back, man. What's wrong with you?
Well, hello. But listen, Matty B right now might be one of those heads to the carpet because my number one is Howie Roseman. And again, his resume speaks for itself. I mean, 2-time general manager of the year. Again, goes to the Super Bowl, just misses a Super Bowl. I mean, listen, this is all in 6 years. Again, he hires Doug Pearson. Everyone thought he was crazy as a head coach. And now, again, the minute that man was let go, there was teams lined up to take him in. So you have that going on. You got, Nick Sirianni. No one has a clue about, but he does. He brings them in, like Dive said earlier. He knows how to manipulate the cap. He knows how to, take teams. When he knows how to play chess with other teams are playing checkers. He knows how to wheel and deal, with free agencies and trades and all that fun stuff. This guy, like Mike said, is truly the smartest man in the room. I like Howie Roseman, and again, this guy is one of the main reasons why there is a Super Bowl in this town, the first ever, and he's been a part of it. So you got to tip your cap to the guy. He's doing a hell of a job in that front office, and I'm curious to see what goes on for this upcoming Eagle season. So Howie Roseman is my number one. So, yeah. So with that being said, well, listen.
Wait a minute, hold on. Did you have any honorable mentions?
Yes.
I love the Andrew Painter pick. I've been counting down the days for him. That injury news really hit me yesterday. I think Painter is going to be incredible. There's nothing more exciting, than watching a young pitcher on the mound grow. I like the Danny Briere pick only because I'm slightly biased. I love watching young teams grow internally. But no, those are about the big 2 right there.
Okay. How about you, Al?
My one honorable mention would be Bryson Stott. It was hard for me to fit him on top 10, but here's a young guy up and coming. A lot of people use the Chase Utley label on him, which I think is putting a lot of pressure on a person to be. But I'm going to go with Bryson Stott as one of my honorable mention, and another one is another Flyer, Mr. Travis Konecny.
Yes,
he's a guy who's really good. He's got the potential to be an all-star every year. And if anything, he might just give us some more trade bait. If one or the other, he's going to be good, instrumental to our future, one way or the other.
All right, I like.
Let me throw. Can I throw out Cutter Gauthier out there?
There you go. Shout out. He's waiting for the cutter. I was waiting for it.
Yeah, absolutely. So, how about you, Mike?
Believe it or not, I think Al kind of stole my thunder there with TK.
Sorry,
but that's cool. Mine, TK would be one, and believe it or not, too. Like, I don't know why, but Derek Hall. I think Derek Hall could be your first baseman, man, for a while.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I'm going to go outside the box here. I'm going to go Joe Ratis from the Wings. I mean, he's been a great set piece for Mitch Jones. I think those two as a combo is really, really good. And then they put up multiple big numbers together. Like I said, I think they're just short of a goaltender. And I'm going to go Philadelphia Union, Andre Blake. I think he deserves it. Multiple times he's bailed this team out of trouble. He's been shutting people down. He led the league in shutdowns last year. So, and you see it right now. Without him in this lineup, this team is hurting. So I got to go Andre Blake. So, yeah, that's my honorable mentions. So I got to say thank you to our man Dives. You can catch him on Party on Broad. Again, he dissects every Phillies Sixers summer league game. So catch him in the upcoming Sixers season and Eagles. So when I think about Eagles here on the EOP, I think we're automatically go to Dives. And, so anyway, thanks for joining us, Dives.
Thanks for having me on, man. Love waking up Sunday mornings and chiming in and listening, man. Your show is awesome.
Thanks, Dives. Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks, you,
buddy. So
it's funny because I had to change my some of my list pieces around because we thought we were just talking overall.
Yeah, that's what I thought. But, I was sitting there. Yeah, thanks. See, like, Steve's got both behind in your answer.
Yeah,
I was going to go him, them, or Gary Gate.
Okay, well, Dallas Ulick is
oh my God, Dallas.
He what do you think Wings? If you know nothing about the Wings, but one thing
you know about Dallas Ulick. Yeah, I mean, God, that was fun, but you got to be more clear next time because I had a whole bunch of.
Oh yeah. I had a revamp on the fly.
Look,
you know what?
I want to touch your Russell skull still. Let's see if you can think on the fly.
Yeah, think on the fly. Thanks. Yeah, at least let me have 2 coffees first before you ask me that.
But in the scheme of things, it actually made it a little bit more interesting that way for me.
Yeah,
I kind of like doing things on the fly a little bit. It makes it more, I don't know, but whatever. But guys, remember, check out PhillySportsTrips.com. Pittsburgh trip is sold out, ladies and gentlemen. So if you haven't got your tickets, this is why I tell you guys, listen to what I say. Go online, go to PhillySportsTrips.com and get signed up as soon as possible. But the ultimate San Diego trip is still available for September 2nd to the 6th, plus all the away games. And there's a Union bus trip coming up in October. So there's a lot of new trips coming out. You want to go out to England and watch the Phillies take on the Mets? They have that trip. You want to watch them go up north in Jersey and take on the Devils outside for a Winter Classic game? They have that trip as well. Go to PhillySportsTrips.com. Tell them EOP sent you.
All right. Well, listen, guys. This past week, these red-hot fighting Phils have been on a stride. I mean, up until yesterday, again, 14 games on the road winning streak. Mike, what do you take away from the Phils?
13.
It was 13.
Yeah, they tied it.
They tied it.
Yesterday would have been 14.
They have to lose. They're not going to win every
All
game.
good things must come to an end.
Hey, they just got to get restarted today.
Today's going to be an important part to me, and this is going to tell me a lot about this Phillies team. It's good when you're on a win streak. Don't get me wrong. And you swept one of the best teams. Well, I guess they were second best team in Major League Baseball because the Braves, I think, have the better record.
Well, the Braves are beating up on them now.
Yeah.
But still the best team in the AL.
Best team in the AL, but right now we're the AL's favorite division because the National League just swept them, and the Braves are beating up on them, and it's given the Orioles a little. I think it's only like a 4 or 5 game differential here.
Differential, yeah.
I mean, like I said, this Phillies team.
2 games. The Orioles are 2 games out. The Yankees are 7 games out, and the Red Sox are only 9 games out. There was at one point that the Red Sox,
this is a tight race.
Yeah, the Red Sox are 47 and 43 right now. They're over 500. And they're 9 games out. At one point, there was like 19 games out. So right now, we're going to be getting a gift basket from the AL East.
Yeah, we should.
Us and the Braves.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
and it's funny. I did say not to cut you off. I don't want to say I told you so, but I'm like, let's talk about where they're at the All-Star break. And believe me, they're higher than I expected them to be. But maybe this is where the reality starts to set in for them.
Yeah, I'm starting to think so. Again, like that was one of the major concerns I had is playing the division because anything outside this division, the Phillies are really, really good. Again, you go into the desert and take care of the Diamondbacks. Again, this past week, you go in and take care of the Rays. Again, everyone's biting their nails.
Mm-hmm.
And what a showcase you had between Nola and Zach Eflin this past week. Matter of fact, that was 4th of July. They were going back and forth. But, I mean, Nola getting the upper hand, 12 Ks. And that should have been one of my honorable mentions. I know he gets a lot of lack.
Yeah.
But, you know, he comes on strong every summer. So I can't really, you know, turn your cheek on that. But anyway, last night, you know, you had Ranger Suarez on the mound. He gets a little dinged up in the early going, but still, this offense was able to carry through. It was just Miami got the better of the deal. Al, I'll take it to you. What did you see from yesterday?
I saw that they just couldn't get that final. Like it was a struggle from Ranger in the beginning, which we've seen now 2 games in a row. That worries me a tiny bit. Maybe this All-Star break's coming at the right moment. They're getting a little gassed. You know, they need to go home and reboot. You know, and that's what I'm saying. That's why I really hope our team. Nobody went to the All-Star game. I said this and people are like, oh, it's crazy. I'm like, no, it's not crazy. I think there's a lot to be said when you're halfway through the season. I don't care if you're going real hot or real cold. It's always good to go home, reboot, and just not have to think about work. Just like a long weekend for us. Like that's what like the 4th of July weekend is for most people, or Memorial Day or Labor Day. It is a chance to go get away from work, not think about work, and just chill with the family, have some home cooked meal, just do the things that made you. You know what I mean? And go from there. I think that would be great, but it's not going to happen because you're going to have a couple guys out there, a la Craig Kimbrell.
Yeah, but I mean, listen, for you to have a couple guys out there, I think it bodes well. I mean, plus, like, if they didn't want to go, they could always give it up. Like, if Castellanos.
Oh no, I know.
Castellanos been like, all right, thanks for for voting me in, but I'm not going to go. Like, that's the only reason why Kimbrell's going is because other guys.
They have to have it. They have to have it.
You have to have at least one representative.
So, like, if he said no, then it would have been Bohm or whoever.
But here's the thing, though. I think it's great because it's not that many people. Like, it's not like we got 5 or 6 All-Stars. Like, you don't have JT going out there. You don't have Bryce going out there. You don't have, Schwarber going out there. You don't have, pitchers like Wheeler or
well, actually, Rob Thompson's going out there. Maybe he can, like, any Braves or any divisional players, even anybody, just make them throw nine innings of pitching. Just like wear them the hell out. Do something.
Right. I mean, like I said, I'm very excited though. On the flip side of the coin, though, Nick Castellanos is getting his due. You saw me; I wrote that article about it. I thought I was really excited, and especially Greg Kimbrell, who we've all alluded to on this show, who deserves it. I mean, this guy has been lights out since April. I mean,
how bad were we on him in April? Like, we were, all of us were. But I mean,
I literally, I think I wrote an article. Is Craig Kimbrell cooked?
Yeah.
And we all
read it and said, "Screw this guy."
He must have.
This guy can't throw a can of corn across the room, and he's going to tell me I'm cooked. Okay,
let me show you.
Yeah, he did.
You know what I mean? So
listen, I don't mind being wrong when it's wrong. You know what I mean?
Right.
If somebody was like, I said, "Oh, he's going to be great," and then he sucked, that's when I hate being wrong. But if he's good and he helps our team be good, then I'm okay being wrong.
Right, and same. So Trey Turner again, like I say, gets us on the scoreboard early yesterday.
He likes that park, don't he? He likes that park.
He was going to Miami before because man, he rocketed that ball out of there. And then of course you get the small ball hitting. Of course, Bryce Harper gets that double just short of a home run. And then of course, like I said, Miami gets back and forth, and it's funny because I feel like they have like a great time just going by Segura and just chatting up with him. But again, going back and forth again, Solar hits his home run and he gets his 23rd home run. Like you said though, Al, it's a little concerning with Ranger Suarez, from a day-to-day basis. It's very inconsistent. Again, I don't know if he's still shaking off the injury. I don't know what it is, but he needs to tighten that up.
No, listen, you saw from Taiwan Walker a little bit too in his last starts. Not 100%. Not being the 150 ERA pitcher that we saw in June.
Same thing with Wheeler. Wheeler's been erratic.
Wheeler's been erratic for the most part. I mean,
him and Nola have been the erratic ones, really. Like,
yeah,
I mean,
except for his 4th of July start.
Yeah, I mean, well, it was kind of like, I think he was more pumped, like he was going against his buddy. You know what I mean? I think he wanted the outdoors.
You think it was a little bit of that?
Yeah, I think so, because like you'll see the next start that he has, he'll end up giving up 3 dingers. You know what I mean? Which, by the way, look, coming out of the All-Star break, first 3 are against San Diego here. So I mean, they get to play the Padres. So that's something to look forward to. I mean, the Padres are still good. They're a good team, man. And
well, I mean, like I said, the last couple starts, Noel's actually been good. It's just when he gets that 4th inning, that's where he gets slapped around with some dingings. So again, but anyway,
dingies, really?
But anyway,
I love dingies.
But anyway,
we should cut that.
Yeah,
cut that.
Noah's been one of your most consistent pitchers. Like you said, I think the most erratic one has been Wheeler. But how about a guy who's been really stepping up in the series? It's been one Christian Pache. Couple doubles. Again, he hits that pretty much.
The home run.
Home run. It wins over the game. I mean, he's been a bright spot as well coming off the bench. What do you think, Mike?
I think you can definitely see. Was it Chris Long? He's definitely getting to him. Like you can see, or Kevin Long. Kevin Long's
Chris
been.
Long was the Eagle.
Yeah. You can see he's been working with him because that's all we heard about is this guy can't hit a lick, right? And then all of a sudden,
he was a top tier prospect,
right? And he was a Brave prospect too. I think
he was
a Brave, and then he got traded to
Oakland.
So I mean, if you can get that playing center field, it kind of bodes well for the Phillies. I mean, if it does, he can do a platoon with Marshy over there, and why not? I mean, because Marshy's the type of person too. Like you can't play him every day. I'm really starting to think like right now in this part of his career, he's not an everyday. He's not an everyday center field. So you probably need somebody like a Pache to get in there and swap some games out with him. I mean,
I was just seeing him swap some games out with Schwarber.
That too. I mean, you can. I mean, they did it yesterday. They did it yesterday. Put him in left field. So I mean, listen, I would love to do that. Like, get Schwarber out of there, man.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, like I said, this All-Star break. Some people are like, I wish it wouldn't be now because the Phillies have been on a roll. And I get that. I do get that. But I'm looking at the wild card standings right now. We're at the 3rd wild card. If the season was,
we got a half game or a game above.
Above what?
Above the wild card. Yeah,
half game. Now San Fran has lost 3 out of 7 or 3 out of 10 of their 3 and 7 in their last 10 games. We're 7 and 3. Last night it would have been nice. We probably would have if we swept the Marlins, we would have been, which is a hard thing to do against your division.
You'd have been a half game out, right?
You would have been a half game at a 2nd spot in the wild card. So if we win today, we could be 1.5 games out. LA's kind of keeping track or staying in front of us. We're about the same distance away from them from a winning percentage. They're 51 and 38. So that's where this race is really tight. I mean, Milwaukee, San Fran are right behind us by 1.5 games a game. The rest is the Mets. The San Diego's a good team, but they still have a lot of ground to make up.
Yeah, they're kind of like middle of a pack team. Yeah. They're kind of right. So again, I mean, like I said, it depends what the Phillies can do today. I mean, if they can win this series, it speaks volumes, I think. And again,
who's going today?
Today is Aaron Nola.
Nola today.
Let's see if he can do it again. Let's see if we get a little magic. Maybe not 12 strikeouts, but let's see if he can keep this to a 2-run or less game. That's what I would like to see from him. If he can do that and handle
if he can survive the 4th,
yeah, it will survive. It doesn't have one of those breakdown innings. And able, like that was the other thing. The one thing that was really a bugaboo for him this whole year was when runners were on base behind him. When they had runners in scoring position, his ERA went from a 2 to a 4.5. You know what I mean? So it's drastically different. So that's what I want to see. Like, it's all about building blocks. Like, we want to see this team. Can they go on a win streak? Lose the chance of setting the franchise record, and now come back and win the next one and go into the All-Star break with another series win. Because the only series they've lost since the beginning of June would have been the Braves series, right? Oh no, the Nats, of course. Again, that one's going to haunt us. I'm going to keep telling you that. That's going to haunt us until the end of the year.
Right. Well, I mean, like I said, again, usually the Phillies have struggled with divisional opponents, but like I said, if you can sneak one out here today, again, Noah on the mound, like I said, if he could have a game like he had on 4th of July with, I'm not going to say he's going to get 12 Ks, but if he could get 8 to 9 Ks, that's just help you out there, and then you can have your bench come in, your bullpen come in, take care of the rest, and then you should be fine from that. And I think today you're going to get a big game from a Bryson Stott or Alec Bohm. I think that duo right there, them coming out what 4th or 5th or 5th and 6th rather off the in the lineup. I think they're a double machine, so I think that helps you out. I think right away, and that's going to help. You might get like a 2-3 run game today.
You think it's going to be a pitcher's duel?
Yeah, pitcher's duel.
Who's pitching for?
I'll tell you right now.
I was about to say because they already went against their best pitcher, Alcantara, on Friday. That was with him and Wheeler.
Right. They are going up against Luzardo.
What's his record?
He is 7-5 with a 3.33. I'm sorry, 3.32 ERA.
Okay.
So it should be quite the pitcher's duel. But like I said, I think Nola gets you out of this one. I think like I said,
bats get him out.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a couple nice hits from a couple small ball hits from Baum and Stott that prevail you from to let you to win this game here. So I like to see that. How about you, Mike?
I think it's going to be a bat game. I think the bats are going to come back to play.
Do you think they're going to come out swinging?
Yeah, I think they're going to come out swinging today. Look for Schwarber to have a good game today. I think Turner is going to have a good game today.
Turner seems like he's like, I mean, I feel like we said this a lot this season, slowly kind of finding himself a little bit more.
Yeah, he's kind of like doing what Castellanos did a year ago.
I think he needs, and I'm hoping that it doesn't take the whole season for him to get himself square. But maybe, again, this All-Star break will be a good way
for him to clear his head and get his head right. Again, like Mike said, this might be his Castellanos year. So where it unfortunately, might take him a year to really catch on. But, but I mean, other than that, I'm starting to lean towards you, Mike. I think this could be the bat swing back because usually the Phils don't lay low for long when it comes to bats, and usually they have that one breakout, bust-out game.
Yeah, we need like a good like 8-9 run game today.
Mm-hmm.
Like they haven't had one really since they put up the 19 against the Nats.
Nets.
So I mean, I just feel like a lopsided one.
Like something's coming.
Yeah, because you started to see it yesterday. Really, if you look at some of the balls that were hit yesterday, like they hit some really hard balls yesterday, but it was just right at people. You know what I mean? And usually when you start doing that, it usually starts finding its spot, like where it needs to go. So I'm looking for a big game today from the Phils, and I think Noah can get a dozen strikeouts because that lineup, that Marlins lineup, there are a lot of free swingers in there. Solaire's a free swinger. We know Gene's
don't sound short though. I mean, those guys.
They can hit. They're good. They got a good young team down there. But
they're a reason why they're second in division. I mean, they're no slouches. But like I said, if Noah can have the game he had from 4th of July, I'm on board. And like you said, if the bats can come alive and start popping them, let's go. I'm all for it.
Yeah.
So hopefully we get some out of Schwarber. I mean, 0-for-4 yesterday. He needs to get himself together here. He really does. It's starting to tap my ass.
Man. Like, I mean, well, you better get some chapstick.
I mean, lube.
Yeah, that's either or. But I mean, for me, you know what Schwarber is. You know what Schwarber is. So, like, again, I think they should drop him back down the lineup.
Yes.
Why not? Throw Bohm back up there, or throw Bohm or Stott up in the. I wouldn't throw Bohm. I'd throw Stott up in the leadoff spot.
Yes.
Throw Stott up in the leadoff spot and drop Schwarber down. Like, if he's going to struggle, you might as well have him struggling at the bottom of the lineup than at the top of the lineup.
I think the thought process in this situation is that it's a mental thing with him, and if you drop him there, you're going to be hurting him even more.
Yeah, but
hurt him much more. Like, he's going to get to the point where, like, he's going to start owing points for batting. Right. Like, I mean, that's how much he's declining down. Like,
I get it.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
Yeah, I mean,
I at $180. If that, like, you got to look at
188,
right. That's when you look at him and go, dude, out of a possible 1,000, you're not even batting 200. Like,
Well,
you're not
Mike,
even hitting Mendoza. Like we got to do something.
But
here.
again, it's not something that people that they put a lot of stake in a guy like him this day and age. It's just true.
But like you said, Mike, too, a couple weeks ago, you said this is why so many teams traded him. You know what I mean? Again, maybe because now we're getting from the inside out that okay, you're comfortable being the leadoff guy, but you're not really performing at a leadoff spot, and you're supposed to be this. And we get it. We all know about his power bat, but it's like what I mean? It comes around over so often. So it's like every leap year, this dude's hitting a home run. So I prefer, like you say, getting Stott up there, be your leadoff man. At least I know he's going to get small ball hits, maybe a single or a double. And I'm okay with that. At least he's getting on base. And then whatever happens after that, whether it be Turner, Castellanos, Harper, whatever your lineup is after that, I'm fine with. But you need to get Schwarber off that leadoff spot. I mean, again, he's your power bat. You should be in the 4 hole, but you're going to clog your 4 hole with him.
I want to see him go to 7, to be honest with you.
Right.
I want to see him batting 7th. And just so he can get himself straightened out. Like, I really think if you drop him down that far in the lineup, he can get himself straightened out. And the power's going to come. Like, he had a little bit of a June resurgence, but, that completely missed call, changed the whole game yesterday. It was such a crock. Yeah. Listen, that happens.
But
dude.
again, a team or a player needs to be stronger than a one missed call. That's kind of how it is. Yeah. Listen, baseball players especially are superstitious and things can easily throw them off. Florida has been positioning players so well this year. Yeah, Steve, I will agree with you on that. They just they must have done their homework they must be doing their homework on teams. Like, this is how they're winning. They're putting players in the right spot, knowing that 80% of the time that ball's hit right here. It comes in this section. So they have been doing their homework.
Yeah, absolutely. So, well, look, guys, we're getting ready to wrap up the show here.
But real quick, I remind you guys that it's brought to you by David R. Cherry, cherryinjurylaw.com, 610-565-0300. Get hurt at work in a motor vehicle accident, personal injury, criminal law, cherryinjurylaw.com, or call Dave Cherry directly at 610-565-0300.
Well, before we get out of here, of course, I got to ask you guys, what is the meal for the day? I might have to do some pasta. It's been a while.
I feel like that's what you do every night, except for the last week when it was, 4th of July weekend.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much wiener you could take. So
I know Sunday dinners and all that, but
that I'm going to do at Taco Bell. No, well, I think the old lady
went from Boston to Taco Bell.
It's going to be one of the.
I feel like Pat's like the kind of.
That's my curveball. Okay.
Hey, Pat, let me ask you a question.
What's up?
Be honest with me. So, say the wife's like, "All right, we're ordering out tonight. I need you to go pick up Taco Bell." Like, you go order a couple extra tacos for the ride home?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. But we don't know that.
Extra, dude, he gets a 12-pack for the ride home. And he gets it with sour cream. Yeah. That's how he gets caught all the time.
I loaded it up with sour cream.
That's how he gets caught all the time. He walks in, he's got sour cream on both sides of his face. Mo's like, really? You had to order an extra 12-pack?
I'm supposed to hang off the chin. But, Mike, are you all right with it?
Yeah, I'm good. But I'm actually thinking about doing some pasta, too, today. Got some penne.
There you go.
Yeah, do some penne. Maybe some, maybe do chicken cutlet or grilled chicken. I don't know what the wife wants to do.
Chicken cutlet, you can't go wrong.
You can't. You ever try them in the air fryer?
Yeah. Air fryer.
That's a banger.
Actually, we did homemade egg rolls. So we bought the egg roll wraps in the air fryer the other day. It was really good. And then we've done different things. Like after Thanksgiving, I do the leftover egg rolls. We put a little turkey, a little mashed potatoes, a little stuffing, a little cranberry sauce, wrap it up in that.
Saying this now, Pat's already drooling. You see the pile of drool in front of him?
Is that what that is?
Left hand's over here, the right hand's on.
Time to go, guys.
But anyway, guys, just remember Phillies fighting finals with me after the Phillies game. And then, of course, back with me at 9 o'clock with all the calls all the time.
Yes, back with me. It's not, not with all the guys.
Well, I was about to get into that. I mean, don't listen to me. I'm an idiot out the whole bunch. But
if you're going to listen to anybody, listen to Gary, Double G, Double M,
Double S.
Double S.
Sean, Mike, and Gary. Don't listen to me. I'm an idiot. They got to carry the load when it comes with me. So anyway. That's where they shoot their load off. But anyway,
guys, it's been a great. So Pat Bernard, I'm Mike Guaro, Al Safiri. Thank you again. We're out of here.